Hey travelers! With Nahida's rerun live now, it's the perfect time to get her build just right. Whether you're all about dendro reactions or maximizing her personal damage, we will cover everything you need to make Nahida a total powerhouse. From the best artifacts and weapons to her top teams, this guide has you covered. Let's jump in. First up, let's dive into Nahida's artifacts. Nahida Build is all about elemental mastery and dendro reactions, so we'll focus on sets that enhance her elemental mastery and boost reaction damage. Her best set in slot is her signature set, Deepwood Memories. This set is tailor-made for her. The Deepwood Memories set is unparalleled for Nahida. It not only boosts her dendro damage, but also enhances her overall effectiveness in combat. 2-piece set bonus provides a 15% dendro DMG bonus, boosting her dendro abilities directly, which amplifies all her dendro-related attacks. 4-piece set bonus is that, when Nahida's skill hits an enemy, their dendro resistance drops by 30% for 8 seconds, making this set amazing for teams that rely on dendro reactions, as it increases overall damage for every dendro-based reaction. Deepwood Memories works best in teams focused on dendro reactions, like Burning, Bloom, or Hyper Bloom. Her best alternative artifact set is Gilded Dreams. 2-piece set adds 80 Elemental Mastery, a straightforward boost that increases her reaction damage output across all dendro-related reactions. 4-piece triggers set boost is that within 8ths of triggering an elemental reaction, the character equipping this will obtain buffs based on the elemental type of the other party members. Attack is increased by 14% for each party member whose elemental type is the same as the equipping character, and elemental mastery is increased by 50 for every party member with a different elemental type. Content. These effects can be stacked up to 3 times and can be triggered once every 8ths. The character who equips this can still trigger its effects when not on the field. This effect lasts for 10 seconds. If you do not have Deepwood Memories, you can use Flower of Paradise Lost, which best for Bloom reactions, 2-piece set bonus adds, 80 Elemental Mastery, helping Nahida trigger stronger reactions and boosting her EM for added Bloom DMG. 4-piece set increases Bloom, Hyper Bloom, and Burgeon reaction damage by 40%. This set is designed for reactions where Nahida takes advantage of dendro cores, making it perfect if your team relies on creating dendro cores for big reaction damage. You can also mix match sets like 2-piece Gilded Dreams plus 2-piece Flower of Paradise Lost for more elemental mastery, but 4-piece Deepwood Memories is best for her. If you have any other character which have Deepwood Memories in the team, then you can go for Gilded Dreams or Flower of Paradise Lost. Now, let's see which artifact stats you need to focus on. Building her is pretty easy. You just need to give her as much elemental mastery as possible. Near 800 is ideal, and the stats you will be focusing on are just elemental mastery for Flower and Feather. You need elemental mastery on substats. For Circlet, Goblet, and Sands, you will need main stat as elemental mastery. You need not to care about the substats, but having energy recharge would be good, but her burst requires very less energy and long duration, so her burst will be ready whenever you will need it. Now, let's go over the best weapons for Nahida, including the best 5-star and F2P options. 1. 1,000 Floating Dreams, her signature weapon. This increases Nahida's elemental mastery and grants her bonus EM or ATK, depending on the element of her teammates. This weapon is custom-made for Nahida, enhancing both her personal damage and team utility in reaction-focused teams. If you are looking for her best F2P weapon, then Sacrificial Fragments is the one to go for. It provides decent amount of elemental mastery. As for comparison, Nahida's signature weapon, 1,000 Floating Dream, provide 265 elemental mastery on level 90, and Sacrificial Fragment provide 221 elemental mastery. Which is not a huge difference. You would not get the passive of her signature weapon, but that is not really necessary. This weapon is great for boosting elemental mastery, especially in teams where she benefits from multiple skill activations. The cooldown reset allows more frequent use of her skill for marking enemies. You can also use Magic Guide, a 3-star weapon which can provide up to 187 elemental mastery at level 90. Mappa Mare is also a good F2P craftable option, but it only provides up to 110 elemental mastery at level 90, but its passive grants elemental damage bonus. On triggering elemental reaction for 10 seconds. You can get up to 2 stacks of this, and the bonus you receive will vary depending on your refinement. You should definitely go for Sacrificial Fragment. Finally, let's look at reaction-based team compositions where Nahida shines. Since she's all about dendro reactions, we'll focus on 3 main team types. The first is Bloom Team, which involve dendro and hydro characters. For example, Nahida, Kokomi, Nilou, and Xingqiu. You can switch Nilou and Kokomi for Yao Yao and Barbara for F2P players. As for why it works, this setup creates a continuous flow of Bloom cores, which Nahida can boost with her high EM. With Nilou, Bloom damage transforms into bountiful cores, dealing massive AoE dendro damage. The second type of team is Hyper Bloom Team, which involve character of dendro, hydro, and electro. For example, Nahida, Fischl, Yellen, or Xingqiu with Kuki Shinobu, or Yai Miko, or Raiden. As for how it works, Nahida's dendro application creates dendro cores with hydro characters, which electro can then trigger for Hyper Bloom damage. Fischl and Xingqiu provide extra off-field damage, making this team well-rounded. The third type of team is Burgeon Team, which include dendro, hydro, and pyro. This reaction team is a bit tricky to execute, as you may sometimes trigger burning instead of burgeon. For example, Nahida, Xingqiu, Toma, Yellen, or Xiangling. Now let's talk about how this team works. In this setup, Nahida creates dendro cores with hydro characters, and Toma's pyro triggers burgeon explosions. It's a fun option if you enjoy big AoE explosions and can handle the self-damage. The damage is big, but you have to go by a fixed rotation of characters. The easiest team in my personal team is all-rounder team of dendro, hydro, electro, and pyro characters. For example, Nahida, Xingqiu, Raiden Shogun, Xiangling. I personally use this team. If you are thinking of how to use this team, this versatile team triggers multiple reactions: Bloom with Xingqiu, Hyper Bloom with Raiden, and Burgeon with Xiangling's pyro. With Nahida's high EM and elemental application, this setup covers a wide range of dendro reactions for consistent high DPS. Your return would be like starting with Raiden elemental skill, then using Nahida's elemental skill to mark enemies, then using her burst if available, then using Xingqiu elemental burst and skill, and then using Xiangling's elemental burst, and then switch to Raiden and use her burst, and do damage. You can change the rotations as you find it comfortable, but remember that you should not use Xiangling just after Nahida. Use Xiangling at the end of rotation. And that's it for Nahida's build guide. By focusing on elemental mastery, using the right artifacts, and choosing the best weapon for your team, you can make Nahida a powerhouse in your Archon collection. If you found this guide helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with fellow travelers. Happy building!